All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of You Ain't Shit for Watching. I'm your host, Donnie Casanova. I'm a habitual line stepper. Today, we are talking about multiple issues, but basically, this was brought on by a previous discussion that was kind of beef riddled. It was a lot of steak in that needed to get dissected and ate up. So I brought a
Right.
couple people on here to have a conversation. It's going to be an aimless conversation. It's really a conversation that everybody wants to have. So we're going to flesh everything out. So at this point, I'm going to introduce you to the first person on the panel. We got BMT. That's Joe. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Joe from BMT, Black Male Talk Media, where we talk about the latest shit, topics, trends, politics, anything that the black media needs to know about and stay on code about.
All right. Then we got Thotty Dotty Rain. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Oh my God. Hi everybody. This is Rain from Peanut Butter Girls and Rain's World Too Far. Thank you, Donnie Dottie Casanova, for having me.
Rain for real.
I just yes, I have a gamer page too.
What you
Um,
doing?
but but I just want to say I feel like we should have one more individual on this show.
No, we
Oh,
not.
no.
We don't.
Why?
No.
It ain't what you feel, Dr. Petty. No, you don't.
And then the next person we got on the list is Trav. Fuck us up, Trav.
Sup, bitches?
In this nigga.
That
No,
nigga
but
look.
I feel like she should be on here. Like,
I
Nope.
know.
We're not talking about it. So, anybody got a
fuck
subject y'all want to speak on?
All right, so boom, man. Like, we got motherfuckers out here who show, like, like, motherfuckers got problems with being black, my nigga. Like,
How so? What would be? Give me an example or show. Tell me something. Tell me a situation or scenario. How do people have a problem with being black?
I mean, it's like a scenario, like, I'm gonna say, like, the last couple of years, you be seeing all these motherfucking niggas and bitches getting online screaming about their woes with dating, their family problems, how they feel about their community and things of that nature. And it's just like instead of people being more solution oriented, it's like they start to like dislike themselves. When I say, well, not even really themselves, but really black people on the well, yeah, themselves also. You dig what I'm saying? But they really just start to dislike other black people, and it's just like it's annoying. Like,
That's okay. Okay. Do you feel like there's also like a counter to that movement to where you're not black enough?
I feel like there is, but it's just like I feel like in a sense, it's like I feel like we're the only race of people that's all inclusive. You dig what I'm saying? I feel like we lack parameters, and that's a problem. Every other, and it's just like everybody say like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, I guess I guess people view that as a good thing. You dig what I'm saying? And that's like I think in a lot of ways, like it's damaging us in a lot of ways. We're too all inclusive and we lack parameters. Every other group of people has that, and they just happen. Those same groups of people who are doing better than us, they happen to have those parameters and those precursors to indicate who is and who isn't what they say they are. You understand? I feel like black people need those kind of things, but also I feel like we need to take into account that a lot of people grew up within our were raised within our culture, and they honor and respect being a part of our culture, and I feel like we should be accepting of people like that. You know?
Okay. Fair enough. Anybody else got something to add to that? I
Um,
feel like BMT got a whole mouthful, so go ahead and say something, bro.
yeah. I mean, I'll say something about that. I mean, it's not too much against what he said. It's a whole spin of it. I mean, but like I said, I've walked on both sides of the political field as well as the racial field. Some blacks, they didn't have it easy growing up, and they're like, "Yo, I got treated better on the other side. You know, I got accepted more easily. Probably, um, with their likes, their music, their dress code, sexuality. And I mean, we ain't gonna lie and say that the black community at some stuff is pretty closed-minded. And it can we've run off some good people, but and some bad people we should be getting out of the community.
Who do you think that we run off about that?
Well, okay, let's look at it like Childish Gambino, right? I think he talked about how he tried hard to fit in, and now that all of a sudden he's successful, and I think they saw him do that video, which was putting out a lot of stuff about what goes on in the black community. Everybody was with him until they saw him show up with a black his baby mama, and that was an issue. I think that's the thing about it that we do have going on in the black community. When we do have people, rather than like just throw the salt on them as if we have some kind of placement, like we don't have the resources right now to say who's in and who's out. Like we shouldn't be doing that. Like we should really be trying to figure out how to keep in everyone and actually try to actually figure out how we can work alongside with them. If they're black, we need to start talking to them, find out, hey, what's the dysfunction? What makes you feel like you need to leave outside of the black community to go find the affection or trust you need? Because we're seeing this more so than we should. So, I mean, we're catching a lot of hell with that. So, anything else y'all want to go after?
I wanted to say something to what you said, Joe.
I'm gonna let Rain talk, and then I'm gonna say something else.
I feel like that's an excuse. I feel like a lot of people that
Thank you.
I hate that. I hate that whole like, oh, the black community didn't like me. I was talked about for being like this and that. That's an excuse. That's a cop out because they probably was some actual weirdos. Like,
wow.
Exactly. Thank you.
Oh God, you're gonna like me.
You know what? This is what I'm gonna say. It is an excuse, but everything you have to be against something is an excuse. So I mean, it doesn't make it any less valid.
Exactly. But I
Can I say something now?
Okay, wait. Hold on, Trav. It's a cop out.
Go ahead.
Men or a lot of these people that were teased or whatever, they always went way above went after people that they know they shouldn't have went after.
But you're talking about a relationship thing. There's got to be more than that.
I mean, how do you talk about a relationship? We ain't saying nothing about a relationship.
I'm not just talking about. Okay, that's one situation. Let's see what else. Well, you know what, Trav? You go. I'm gonna let Trav.
Oh yeah.
All right, so bro, like that shit. That shit is like no excuse, bruh. Like, cause it's just like I understand what niggas like Childish Gambino's talking about. Cause I grew up and I know I might seem kind of like people assume that I'm just like really like hood and whatever. But like when I was growing up, I read a lot. I was into like anime and shit like that, and I can just go on and on. I like different kinds of music, and I got hell for it. You understand? Like it was really like I didn't really get no play from no kind of chicks until I was probably about 16 or 17 years old, and I think me like being forced into the street life is kind of like what made me attractive to certain black women. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I understand a lot of our ills. You dig what I'm saying? I understand a lot of the things that we go through as a people. So, and not only that, I understand some motherfuckers is just stupid. You dig what I'm saying? And I think a lot of the self-loathing and things come from people not defending themselves, bro. Because all the things I told you that I got hell for, yeah, I got hell for it, but nigga, wasn't nobody about to try me without getting punched in their face. And if they wanted to take it further than that, we could take it further than that. Motherfuckers is just pussy. That's what it really boils down to. Niggas get bullied and shit, and then they don't defend themselves, and then they grow up having all the animosity that they have towards black people or black women or whatever because they get bullied and they didn't defend themselves and they didn't get no play when they was younger. That's what it really boils down to. Motherfuckers is cowards. Niggas is running around here being emotional about shit they can't control, and niggas need to stop that shit, bro. We grown. Yeah. Like all the shit I told you that I've been through, a lot of niggas like Childish Gambino been through. Like and shit like that, bro. And you got to look past it. Like you can't allow a few fucking sour ass people out here in the world make you hate your people, especially if you know all the bullshit that kind of like reinforces like that kind of attitude towards, you know what I'm saying, people with alternative ideas and hobbies and things of that nature. You like, you're smart. You should be smart enough to understand that. So why are you holding ill will towards people you know ain't intelligent enough to really like understand certain shit, bruh? And it's just like, if they make life difficult for you, beat their ass. Like it's really not that hard to do. It's just motherfuckers out here pussy, bruh. Like
yeah, I just
okay,
feel
so
like
everybody can fight in the black community. I mean,
if you can't, what you mean? I didn't know, nigga. I didn't come out the pussy fighting. What you mean? You gotta learn, trial and error. What the fuck?
Okay, but you're speaking for your own self versus everybody isn't your size, your weight, your build.
I didn't come out the pussy this size, bro. Like
everybody didn't have the same kind of. No, but I'm saying, but
I
you're
didn't
saying
come out the pussy this size.
What I will say is not everybody's going to be able to fight. Period. Point blank. There's going to be some weakly ass dudes out here. There's going to be some dudes who just don't have the ability to step up to you like that. So I think what Trav is trying to say is that you have to be able to stand up as a man and hold your own. But not everybody.
Even if you go get your ass beat, like the fuck, I done got my ass beat a couple times. You think that made me scared of anybody or anything like that?
Right, but
some of the people I knew that had the most heart.
Not everybody.
Some of the people I knew that had the most heart are people I beat the shit out of. You dig what I'm saying?
We live in a community that doesn't pride manhood anymore. So you gotta take a step back and see that not everybody's capable of that. Especially in this day age. I think we did a show way back. The Art of the Fade is gone.
Yeah.
So you got to come with this. Huh?
Yeah, that's gone. That's gone. Now it's Art of the Gun.
I mean, Art of the Fade is gone.
You know. That shit's cool too. What you mean? Like,
but the main thing I think everybody needs to understand is that regardless of where you come from, what your background is, or how you move, how you act, what you watch, how you speak. If you're a black person, you're a black person. And at the end of the day, it don't matter, if you speak proper, if you speak, Spanish, if you speak some other kind of language, when the cop pull you over, he ain't checking for nothing. Bro. He gonna throw you in nigga jail with the rest of the niggas. He gonna treat you like a nigga. I don't care if you come out in a British accent. You can't be no magical nigga unless you Bagger Vance. So everybody has to understand that as a black person, you are what you are, and we have to accept that there's a full diaspora. I think a lot of times our kids don't embrace that because they aren't being taught that in the home. I don't think we have a very diverse culture in the hood for the most part. Trav said he got made,
but it's like I think it takes like, not only that, things are kind of changing. You dig what I'm saying? Like, it's really not it's not that way no more. Like, a lot of these little niggas who's running around here are a lot more accepting than we were. So it's just like, I feel like things are going in a better direction that when, you know what I'm saying, when we're speaking about that, like children are more receptive and respected. They respect people who have different hobbies and ideas. And me being honest, I would much rather grow up in this generation than in the generation we grew up in. You dig what I'm saying? Because shit be so smooth. Like, huh?
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
I feel like more
these little niggas is weird to me, but I mean, I get it.
I mean, like I said, from talking and dealing with different groups and stuff, and affiliation, like, we now have it where if you won't speak or you don't talk a certain type of way, like, there's more affiliated groups now for men feeling a certain type of way against women. Now, we didn't have this back in the day. And
that's some faggot shit, bro. Like, I'm like, that whole shit is real scary. Like,
now I'm trying to be respectful as a black man to another black man. Like, see, that's the thing. The thing about it is respect. It's called a respect. And whether you agree or not, like, it is what it is. I mean, we can say that's some faggot shit, but see, those same brothers are the ones that we're trying to say, yo, like, you still have a home. Now, we can laugh at them and talk all junk we want, but I mean, I don't see those brothers trying to beg to get back into the hood. I don't see them trying to even fuck with a brother when we say, yo, like, hey, you black too. No, I don't fuck with that. And that's a problem because we're the only race that is really dealing with that at a really grain level. Like we forget these guys end up becoming cops. These guys end up becoming all type of shit. And when stuff does go down, you're gonna want that brother to either who's that lawyer, that business owner, somebody in that position, like to actually say, yo, like I remember that, yeah, those are my people. Like,
but like, bro, at the same time, bro, when people do shit like that, they're assimilating. That means at that point,
you're right. Guess what? See, you can say that's bad because you're not in that step hold where you need to. You're like, hey, I'm fine with this. You know what I'm saying? You and Rank said, hey, I don't got that issue. That is fine. Like, listen, I understand the pool. Like, I could easily go right back to around my cousins and say, yo, I'm Rockman Jr.'s son. It's not a problem for me to easily go back. But then again, I also know the weight that comes with my father's name. I already understand the hate that comes around carrying my father's doggone blessing. So it's like, do I want to be known as that man that goes in and shoots people? Or do I want to be known as that man that actually has respect for his community? Like, I mean, that's the thing about it. Like,
we need both, man. Ain't nothing wrong with duality. I kind of have
that's the thing
very
about
similar background.
But see, that's the thing about it that Roger was trying to say. Like, listen, these brothers, they're not trying to get back. That's the thing Roger and Donnie be talking about. Like, yo, these brothers right here, these be the guys. Like, I think what was that video with that black man who beat that other black man? He didn't give a fuck about that other man being a black man. And that one damn black man rode up, out of all those black men, not one ran up on him. Not one. Ain't not one ran up on either one of them, try to stop them or nothing. Now, we got an issue with this going on. And we need to start trying to instead of ostracizing these brothers, we need to start figuring out what's going on that is making these brothers want to leave. Trying to black women telling, oh, you pussy, or you
talking
this
about
and that.
Brothers or black people in general.
Well, that's what we call them. Like they're still black men at the end of the day.
Bro, like that's the thing.
They're not black men.
No, I'm talking about. Are we talking about just black men leaving the black community, or we're just talking about black people in general?
Black people. Let's talk about black people in general. Let's just talk about black people in general. We're getting black people in general. Men. I mean, let's be okay. But if that's the case, y'all two are Jamaican, correct? Or y'all feel more so on the Jamaican side, right? Now, I'm African American. I'm not gonna lie. When I was going to Job Corps or certain areas, Jamaicans didn't fuck with African Americans or Haitians. Like when I was coming as an African American, going through and dealing with Jamaicans and them, they didn't fuck with African Americans like that. I'm like, hold on, ain't you black too?
Let me break that down for you.
No. I'm telling you, but I went through Job Corps, and that shit, you fucking with the wrong set could get your head split by a pipe. But I'm like, oh wait, so
Job Corps?
Yeah, Job Corps.
Be ignorant as fuck sometimes.
Yeah, Job Corps be on that. Job Corps, you might say that's like the next phase of prison. That's like the step under prison. But those niggas, they
depends on what city you are. Sometimes if you get into some trouble, they'll be like, listen, you got two options. You can go sit in his jail, or you can go to Job Corps, or you can go to the military.
They got affiliations in there, Haitians, Jamaicans, and African Americans. Nah, you want to
fuck up trash.
Okay, bro. You go to Job Corps. Like you go take the Job Corps route. Like the thing about it was when I walked, I'm like, yo, bro, like both of y'all from Florida, y'all both black, and y'all talking down. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the Zoes, I know African Americans treated the Haitians like shit. To where the Zoes had to make a game.
That's the thing. That's the reason why they separated. Because but boom, it's kind of different though. Like in New York, we fight back. You think what I'm saying? And after a while, we gained the African Americans respect, and they just knew better than to fuck with us. You think what I'm saying? But you got
I would say, I mean, honestly, I lived up in living in Springfield, and when I go around different people, as long as they like, okay, you got your people. If it came to a party, the only issue it was just on the respect of don't call me or don't disrespect my flag or my woman. Other than that, usually the women have an easier time traversing versus the males because the women, I mean, it's just sharing women. But as far as the dudes,
that shit was crazy, bro. I just remember just when niggas found out, well, they pretty much like, for example, I remember when I first started school and my parents gave me lunch and I had like curry chicken or some shit, my nigga, and they like roasted me, my nigga, and they just started trying to bully me, and nigga, we just started fucking them up, like me, my brother, and like start fucking people up. Like every time they try to talk shit about us or try to bully us, like then after a while it just stopped. Like this probably when I was like 5 or 6 years old. But after a while, the shit just stopped. Like, cause they just, I don't know. People respect violence. That's what that taught me at that young age. You know what I'm saying? When people are going out their way to
not to take away from your story, but my nigga, you had curry chicken for lunch, nigga. I'd be
regular black kids didn't have that shit. Like that's a different culture lifestyle right there. Like they're gonna talk. That's a different cultural lifestyle. Ain't no damn black mama. Oh, let me fry you some green beans and some fried chicken and some rice. They're like, nigga, you better go catch that fucking bus. And that's it. And like, ain't none of that damn shit. Like
or with dumpling or patty. Word.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I mean, I had a little Jamaican shawty that she would come by and like she would make Jamaican patties. Not like no store brand, like Jamaican patties, and bring them to school, like for me and her and her brother. But I'm saying, like,
they're neglected like a motherfucker now.
Well, no, I mean the thing about the thing about it again, not everybody has a backup source. See, that's the thing about it. When it's for most black young men, especially black boys, do they have a backup network where if you don't have nothing to fit into? I mean, we can say, well, we see that as an excuse, but if you don't have that outward source or that network, then you're gonna be like, well, fuck it. Then it's just me and myself. So I'm gonna find where I fit in. And if I fit in outside of the black community, it is what it is. I mean, shit, y'all didn't give a fuck about me. You didn't put me on. So
I see what you're saying. So he had his own community.
I see what you're saying, but it's
had his own community.
And I got my friends. They like that. Some of them are like that now.
I mean, with me though, it's just like I understand what he's saying perfectly, but with me, it's like I'm like, fuck it, then we're enemies. It's gonna be like that because I went through the same thing as you. I know other people who went through the same thing as you, and we're not out here hating ourselves. So at that point, we enemies. Fuck.
So
fuck you and them crackers you done paired up with. Like,
I'm not trying to bring up the relationship part, but I wonder if y'all ever seen that episode of Catfish of this black dude catfishing as a white dude. And
oh my god!
That was actually going.
I wish I was on Catfish, but I would whoop everybody's fucking ass on that damn show.
That was gonna be my next question. Do y'all, as black people, feel that you can fuck your way out of racist ideologies, racism, as a racist? Don't say white supremacy, but I be saying it too much, so I feel like I gotta find a.
Can't say it anymore. You use all your racist cards.
Oh no! I can fuck yourself out of white supremacy. Can you go get you a white man or a white woman and fuck yourself out of racist situations?
No.
I mean, no, but I mean, we could do it in another way, though. We can just, start having a bunch of children and then go to war. Because
that's
gonna take too damn long
in his mind. Yeah. He fucked himself right into a MAGA hat.
You really can't. Like, honestly, here's the thing about it. Like a lot of black people, I see black dudes get with white women, and they feel like I don't agree with black men getting with white women, but then they talk down on black women. Like, I don't agree with that, but then I also don't agree with it vice versa. Like, I see it played on both sides. Like, black women will be like, get yourself a white man and you'll be fine. Or then again, I'll see it also for black men saying, if you get a white girl, you don't have to worry about fake hair. And I'd be damn. So
what's crazy is like the overall, like they never want to admit this shit, but that has more to do with just like them having access to more resources. You dig what I'm saying? So in a sense, the statement is true. But they're pretty much letting you know why.
I'll give you that point, Trav. Like, when I
you
saw that,
you might have more access to more resources.
Depending on
the day, you still are a nigga.
Get them a goddamn jar of mayonnaise to think that they got something.
Everybody know you have a mixed baby. You the hottest thing on the block. Everybody know mixed babies are the hottest thing on the block.
No, it's
Well,
not, but because some mixed babies
For
are ugly
black
as shit.
women, for black people. White
For black people, black women, you throw a mixed baby, they like that's like fucking Simba. Like niggas want to see the hair,
And
the
for the
eyes,
black people.
the freckles and
I
shit.
think it's
in
more.
White people
some
know what the
families,
fuck.
you
Wait
see
a minute,
them
white
treating
people
the
know
light
what the fuck
skinned
that
kids
child.
better than all the other rest of children. Like in some families, you'll see that shit. They'll treat the lighter skinned child better than the dark. That's kind of what happened with like my family in the past. Like after Jamaica gained their independence, majority of my fair skinned cousins and shit moved to London, and all the black ass people in my family had to stay in Jamaica. And like you kind of see a lot of that go on now. You dig what I'm saying? So where motherfuckers and yeah, they really believe that shit, and that shit's like
it's true.
a problem. Like this is the reason why you'll see like certain black women to be a little bit more hostile towards lighter skinned women. And you dig what I'm saying? I'm not saying that it's cool, but it's just like that's what you see a lot of that, because you'll see that children and people in general who happen to be darker are undervalued. You know,
Why
like
is it that I can't get myself a dark skinned woman? Dark skinned women don't pay me attention, Trav. No, I'm playing. Go ahead.
Yeah, Jamaican.
I'll answer that question though. Still,
like Jamaicans, it's really bad because like if you notice, a lot of them are doing the skin lighting.
Aren't y'all bleaching yourself in Jamaica and shit?
Yeah, they're bleaching.
I mean, like it really depends on who we talking about though, because like in certain parts of Jamaica, they'll be hostile towards people. Like certain neighborhoods, they'll really be hostile towards people who do that kind of shit. You dig what I'm saying? Out there bleaching their skin and promoting that fuckery. Like that should really you'll really have a problem.
I'm just saying. No, I get what you're saying, but I'm just saying my mom and them be going on those cruises. They be getting greeted by a lot of blonde hair, bleached niggas and light skinned women on that damn beach shore. And they be like,
you see the same thing.
This shit in Jamaica? And
yeah,
I'm like,
you see the same shit in Africa. You dig what I'm saying? Like all that shit that's going on is like it's pretty much a byproduct of neocolonialism. You dig what I'm saying? When you see people
what I'll say is
take on the traits of the oppressor.
I've been to a lot of different countries. And most of the countries I've been to, usually the number one product, or at least the number one product advertised, is some sort of bleaching cream.
Exactly. Yeah. And all of that is a byproduct of neocolonialism. It doesn't just affect black people. You see it with Asians. You see the caste system with Indian people. You see it like with everybody. Like it proves that white supremacy is a thing, and it's a worldwide thing. And the lighter you are, the better you're treated, the more opportunities and the more doors open for you. You dig what I'm saying? So some of these countries, they won't even hire you to work in a hotel if you don't have like lighter skin. You dig what I'm saying? Like this shit is crazy.
I'm probably say the only ones that don't have it so bad, and Donnie can probably also see that, is like going over to India. Like they don't do it too bad with they have ways to like lighten and darken your skin, but for colorism for them is not really like the market. It's all about
India. What they do is they have a caste system.
Yeah,
exactly. They have the caste system.
Based on the color of your skin, and the darker you are, the more they consider that you basically fucked up in a past life. So you are,
that's their system.
They'll call you a mongrel, all kind of shit. I actually beat up a dude. So I took my girl to Thailand years ago, my ex, and I did something. I was walking inside the store, probably buying some shit I had no business buying, and I came outside. He had an attitude, and I said, well, "What's wrong? Why are you looking crazy?" And she said, "That motherfucker just called me a mongrel and spit in my direction."
Yeah, they do that.
I had to chase his ass down. I was in flip-flops, nigga. I'm on the beach chasing this motherfucker on the scooter. Caught his ass, pulled him off the scooter, and beat his ass. Later on, I found out, that's just how they move. They don't really see. The darker you are, the less they are to like you. Even Gandhi's ass. Gandhi did not give a fuck about black. And he detested. This is how they move.
I mean, like shit like that existing is what makes me like hate niggas like Childish Gambino and the nerdy ass niggas out there, because it's just like, bro, you see how much bullshit we go through as a people, and you want to fucking try to diss us and try to go to the other side? Fuck you. We might as well just murder your ass then if you're gonna be like that.
Try to hold up. What are you talking about? He held up something.
I mean, like they're trying to flip sides. You think what I'm saying? Like That's what they're trying to do. Like they're trying to.
Why do you feel like man is trying to flip sides?
Wait, who?
You said Childish Gambino.
I don't think Gambino's trying to flip sides.
I mean, like dudes like him, like nerdy, like socially awkward black dudes. You dig what I'm saying? Who talk shit about black women and who hate the ghetto and shit like that, man. Like word niggas like that. I really feel like they my enemies. Like
I don't know. You know the thing about it is like black. Like I'm gonna tell you from like me. Like I like when I was like I don't know. Like seeing black culture how it's been evolving. Like in my time. Now I'm hearing shit called blurs and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is a blur? Like
word. Like nigga, that's me. You dig what I'm saying? I'm like a pioneer. You dig what I'm saying when it comes to
But I'm like, hold up. But then okay. But see, when I hear that shit, I'm like, nigga, you ain't no fucking nerd. Like you like shit, but that don't make you like black people will try to make shit trends and shit. And I'm like, why can't
I don't like that shit. Like this is something that niggas been doing forever. Now you give it a name. You got a bunch of motherfuckers who really not down, trying to act like they into the shit that they not into. Like
so, like when I was watching, when I was a nigga that was reading Naruto and Transformers and shit, bitches didn't find that shit cool. Bitches didn't fuck with me like that. But however, I was still that guy that played football. I was still that nigga that was playing video games and shit. But I didn't like. For me, again, I get what you're saying, Trav. That's why I said I have traversed both sides of the plane. So I understand some brothers who's like, yo, like I didn't get no love. Now I can't hold them, but if you didn't get it one way, you're gonna find. I tell black men if you can date whoever the fuck you want to date, if you work hard for it. Like I remember this one guy, he went to college, he came back as an accountant, tried to talk to a female that he always wanted to date. Now, she told him that he was a lame. She said, nah, I only fuck with bad boys. Now, I said, okay, don't fuck with him. Like, don't leave her alone. Now, he go get a nice job, motherfucker living in Hilton Head. Now, he come back with a nice little goddamn, I think she's a Danish female.
Yeah.
Now, this bitch on damn social media trying to dog at him. But I'm like, hold up, bitch. You weren't even fucking with him. He came at you. You didn't want to fuck with him. Now he got another bitch. Why should he have to wait for you?
Like, I mean, bruh, I feel that, but it's just like, for example, I don't like interracial relationships, period. But it's just like, I feel like dudes could date, or anybody could date anybody who they want to, bruh. But it's just like, I feel like, the only way I feel like it's okay is if like it's just like it really don't matter to you. If you find a black woman who's gonna dig you the same way, and you know what I'm saying, she give you play, you're gonna fuck with her. Cool. What I don't like is a lot of niggas pushing like the shit where it's just like, bruh, like, oh yeah, fuck black women, they X, Y, and Z. They didn't like me when I was younger, so now I'm gonna. That's lame. I'm pretty sure the dude you're talking about has no kind of ill feelings towards black women as a whole. You understand? He done found him a bitch that like him. The bitch has to be white. I understand. I'm not mad at that at all. You dig what I'm saying? That's understandable. It's like, bro, I just remember when I was growing up and I really didn't get no play. When I was like in my early teens, I really didn't get no play until as I said before, until I was like 16, bro. And I remember there used to be this like I'm gonna say, I'm not sure if she was like Eastern European, and she was like she went to our school in Atlanta when I lived out there, and she used to like try to fuck, but for whatever, I don't know, I just never been into white women, bro, so I never gave her no play. You dig what I'm saying? But she was trying to fuck with me, and that was like the first chick I ever remember like being attracted to me and wanting to date me, bro. Like, but like black women like didn't give me no play, and I'd give them all the attention in the world. You dig what I'm saying? But it's just like I don't know, like with dude in question, as long as he don't got no problem with black women as a whole, and if he break up with Shorty one day and he end up meeting him a dope ass black woman and he date her, I have no problem with that. You dig what I'm saying? My issue is the self-hatred situation.
I would ask this: do y'all feel like if a person is in an interracial couple, should they have any right to speak on black issues?
No.
Why not?
Because it's like nigga, you made your bed, lay in it, bruh. Like, stay over there. Like,
okay.
they could it's on some shit where I hate to say it like this, but they really gotta be like a donkey. Like, you dig what I'm saying? Like, we don't want you to say nothing. Give up all the resources you want to give to help our causes. You dig? Like, keep your goddamn mouth closed. Like,
Okay, so Donnie, do you agree with that?
Hell no. That's Trav's opinion. So at the I'm gonna say it like this: if I find a chick who's hold on.
what the
All
fuck?
right, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right, now basically, if I find a chick that's down for me, regardless of her race, any chick I date, they're gonna be bringing resources into the family. So if I date a chick and she's white, this white chick is going to be ear hustling at work. I need to find out all the white plans, all the white shit that's going on. I need her to be the face of a nation so that if I do come across a feeling or a situation, I can send her out there as a scout. She gonna come back with my intel. I'm gonna play the game with her.
I mean, like, but at the same time, I feel like if you're using a woman in that sense, like, I don't see no problem with it. But at the same token, it's just like I can't like, I know dudes who like that, like they fuck with other races of women, but they'll only like take relationship wise seriously a black woman and shit like that. I could understand, but if you out here having children with them and you living in a house with them, and you kissing them in the mouth, like I can't trust no niggas like that. Like, you dig? Like,
a child that's half black is black.
Nah, that's not true. No. We're the only people that say shit like that. Well, matter of fact, I'm not gonna say it's not true. It probably is true. You dig what I'm saying? But we're the only group of people that do that kind of shit. You dig what, like Chinese people, for example, a motherfucking Chinese person who lives in China can have a baby with a motherfucking Korean. But them Chinese people, they understand how to protect their culture. So even though the motherfucking Korean, if they have a child that was born in China, them Chinese people gonna say, fuck that. That little fucking Korean thing fucking motherfucker is not Chinese. Because they understand.
Our genes are going to be received by the other end. So any child that you have is going to have that melanin in them. So automatically, when that child come out, that child's going to come out and he's going to be black. Period, point blank. The skin color is going to be black. So you have to understand that child's not going to be treated as a white man.
Yeah. I mean, the reason why I asked that is I'm like, okay, so now people already know, like, so that's the case, then the shit that Colin Kaepernick has been saying and fight for black people, we should be like, nigga, you need to shut the ass up.
Black people. That nigga's just, all he doing is kneeling. That's all he doing.
He's not.
What you mean? Like, he is, but it's like, it's really nothing.
I don't care.
That's nothing really reputable. Like, to me, like, if you're not going to jail, if you're not willing to go to jail or die, then it's a wrap. Yeah, I'm not really taking you too seriously. Yeah, I still respect what he do, though. Don't misunderstand me, though. I still respect what he do, but when we talking about overall changing our overall collective situation, he's not doing anything. Like that shit's not changing anything. Like, the niggas is drawing a bunch of attention to himself. Like,
so do y'all think Martin Luther King? Y'all think Martin Luther King and
I wouldn't have said Martin Luther King.
And Farrakhan and Malcolm X. Y'all don't think they weren't getting paid?
What? Huh?
Y'all don't think Martin Luther King, Louis Farrakhan, and all them brothers?
I didn't say nothing about anybody getting paid. All I said is that him kneeling isn't really changing our overall collective situation. Martin Luther King, I'm not really going to go into too much, but I feel like in some aspect, Martin Luther King he contributed to our overall betterment, or he tried to. I feel like Malcolm X did the same thing. I feel like Farrakhan is an agent. Like, I hate to say it like that because
geez.
You feel like Lou is an agent? Well,
what do you mean? Anybody who's praising the death of somebody like Malcolm X and somebody like Khalid Muhammad, who has to be working with the people. Anybody who has the kind of views he has, and he hasn't been attacked, nobody's trying to kill him, and he's able to build up can I finish?
Go ahead.
He's able to build up an organization that has the rhetoric and attitude that the Nation of Islam has, and you haven't been attacked by the U.S. government at no time at all. The FBI was able to infiltrate your organization and kill Malcolm X. You dig? When I can go on and on. Like everybody who came out of the Nation of Islam, who was as far as it goes with their political beliefs, was a black nationalist, was kicked out of the NOI and was killed after. You understand? So I have to look at them like they sus now. Like he has to be an agent, bro. This nigga gets on stage and praises the death of Malcolm X. For what? Because he told Elijah Muhammad to stop fucking teenage girls and having kids with them, and y'all got him killed. Like, come on, bro. I'm not with that. That nigga got to be some kind of agent, bro. Like, and I don't even use that. I don't even say that too often. You dig what I'm saying? Because people overuse the word and misuse the word. It's like every motherfucker that disagree with people who have, or everybody who has similar views to mine. Anytime somebody disagrees with them and has something bad to say about them, they call them an agent. And that's not necessarily the truth. But somebody like Farrakhan, yes, that's an agent. People like Angela Davis, people like Elaine Brown, they're fucking agents. You understand? They cooperated with the FBI and got our people killed. Like,
yeah.
I do say like motherfuckers like Jesse. I feel like Jesse was an agent.
Exactly. People like Jesse. People like Al Sharpton. Ain't no way in hell somebody like Al Sharpton is definitely one of them people. Ain't no way in hell during the 60s and 70s you selling heroin, and then within 10 years you're a political leader now. Of course, you're the people. Twice. Yeah,
Al Sharpton, he got a real swabby, like that's a swabby ass nigga. Like that, something about that nigga.
You can't trust no nigga like that. That nigga's a drug dealing bitch, bro. Like,
but
now,
go ahead.
I'm gonna say this: Martin, before he died, Martin said he felt like he's walked his people into a burning building. Martin said
he knows what the fuck he was doing, bro. Like, he knew what he was doing. No. Like, bro.
He said by having us integrate and be able for our children and our people to be around white people, that put us in a situation that we really can't get out. Now, the thing about it is this: from watching black people and from what my people have told me about black, and I mean, my people told me, watch out for that black man. He got no allegiance to his own. And sometimes it proves true. It has proven true. Nobody does more harm to the black man than the black man himself. That's
I hate to say it like this, bro, because like I'm not really, but like when I run into other races of people, they respect me more for being a little racist. You understand? Like they're like, yeah, he doesn't fuck with us at all. He's not trying to learn about our culture. He's not trying to teach us anything about his culture. But for whatever reason, they'll respect me a little bit more. Even though I'm not fucking with them, I don't hang with them, nothing. Like they'll still respect me a little bit more. Like
I didn't get one beer and go to bed. Yeah, no. I can dig. I can. Taz, as hard as I come at you, I can respect your view. I can't respect Trav's view because Trav is more so like, if you don't fuck with me, fuck you. But I mean, I am going to be what I am. I can't get mad at him because, like I said, I'd rather know a man is racist than a man that smiles in my face, but then does fucked up shit behind my back to sabotage me. I can't deal with that. And you know what I'm saying? The thing about it is, like, for black people right now, like I said, we at the game now. We at the game trail now where black people say that they are black, but they don't do nothing to benefit or help blacks versus those who aren't even in the black community, but they're still trying to give blacks the benefit of a doubt. And that's the shit that really bugs me. Like, I don't even live in the black community anymore, but I damn sure do more for people of my color than black people who are in the community and rob, shoot, and stab and hurt our own people. And I'm like, damn, my nigga, that literally was your cousin's house. Like, why would you rob your cousin's house? Man, I don't give a fuck. I'm like, wow. This is why it's hard to trust.
But I mean, like, not only that, it's just like people are a little too people act like, I don't know, like people get too emotional and they like lack understanding, because it's just like there's very few times, like for example, like people are always come up with the, oh yeah, we rob, we shoot our own, and blah blah blah. You dig what I'm saying? Cool, but it's just like majority of the time there's very few situations, where I've heard two niggas really, or a nigga shooting another nigga, and the dude didn't have a valid reason to shoot him, or the dude like, or people like, that's one situation. But when it comes to the stealing and the robbing, nigga, that's what happens when people are poor. Like, you dig what I'm saying? We poor. This is the reason why we're robbing each other. We're gonna see you like, and that has a, like, not only that, the murder situation has a lot to do with proximity. I guarantee if we lived around other poor white people or Latinos, and we're stepping on each other's toes for drug turf or whatever kind of other rackets is going on in whatever communities. We stepping on each other's toes for that. We're gonna kill each other. But this country is still so racist and segregated. Black folks live around each other. White folks live around each other. So when we're talking about percentages of people killing each other, of course, the poorest of all the people are going to be killing each other the most, because we're fighting over the little bit of resources we have in our communities. You understand? Like, people play dumb. People act like that has more to do with self-hatred rather than people trying to survive. And I don't like that. That's like, I wouldn't even say that people are just like, people are just emotional about it. People don't sit down and take the time to think about shit like that. It's like nothing I said is like off. Everything I said is like facts. Like, nobody is out here killing each other because they hate their own race, or they're stealing from each other because we hate our own race. Nigga, no, we poor. We're out here fighting over shit so we can survive. You understand? That has a little bit to do. Of course, I'm not saying that we should allow it to continue going on either. You dig what I'm saying? Of course, we need to find ways to quell the violence and the doing each other dirty and XYZ. But let's stop playing dumb and acting like this has to do with people with black folks hating each other. It has nothing to do with black folks hating each other. Like,
I'm gonna say it like this. And I mean, like, it's crazy. Like, if I know that Donnie is busting his ass, going to work, and he's like, he told somebody, and this is one thing my mom would told me: don't ever let black people know you get something new, because they'll rob you. And I'm like, damn, mama, you sure? Don't. Like, when we got a new computer, my damn daddy had to take that, rip up the box, burn the shit at the fire chimney. Like, niggas couldn't even know we had a new computer. Like, that's just how serious it was. But it was like, it's sad that listen, man, I'd rather go without before I had to start stealing. I ain't gonna say I never have stole, but I know it's like when I bought me a new PS3, I worked so hard at that security job, and I went to work. I said, yo, I can't wait to get home because the new Metal Gear Solid. I got Heavenly Sword. Come back home, boy, my shit was gone. I'm saying, when a part of my soul died, I was like, yo, so whoever nigga got that shit, I promise you, I'm gonna kill you. And I must have beat up so many people that night. But see, I learned a valuable thing. Like, niggas don't give a fuck for your struggle. And that, like, but see, when I came and moved to another neighborhood, I got a PlayStation or something, I didn't have to worry about white dudes saying, oh, I'm gonna break into your shit. No, I remember one time,
but like,
I had a white dude, when my woman was pregnant, he would take our trash and take it to the road if I was home.
So let me say this, because I think that conversation is we got to be descriptive about that conversation. The neighborhoods that you lived in were probably vastly different. Now, when you go into a black affluent neighborhood, nobody's stealing. Nobody's outside.
When I lived in DeKalb County in Georgia, like when we left the hood and whatever, we moved to Georgia and shit, bro. Like, it was pretty much the nigga. We lived in the suburbs, and it was just nothing but black people, and none of the. And, like, after a while, shit got kind of crazy, because like, but for the most part, yo, that's word to me, my nigga.
I'm about to say DeKalb ain't the same, bro. I'm just saying, I know how long you've been there, but
yeah. But nah, when I first got there, like early 2000s, it was really like a nice affluent. But after a while, it got crazy. But like as I was saying though, bro, like that shit has everything to do with our overall collective situation rather than motherfuckers just not liking you. You understand? Like, I understand. Don't get me wrong. The shit that happened to you, you have every reason to be angry or sad or whatever. But like you kind of low key gotta let that go. You dig what I'm saying?
Listen. I did. When I found a new,
I'm not saying you per se, but like other niggas. You dig what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
Basically, what it is a lot of our parents taught us some fucked up lessons. And I'm not trying to talk about anybody's parents or say anything slick, but everybody has seen or had a relative that's told them some fucked up shit, and they not necessarily mean it or they didn't explain it fully.
Yeah.
When you have somebody saying don't trust these niggas, they're not saying don't trust black people as a whole. They're not saying we're not a monolithic entity that can't be trusted. You live in an environment where everybody is poor, broke, and struggling. So, of course, man who's trying to feed his family, eat, everything else, he's going to do whatever it takes to feed his family, whether that be rob you or rob somebody else. You just are in close proximity to that man. So it has to be understood, black people are not inherently evil, but black people always speak as if we're a monolithic item to ourselves. We have to separate the two. Hey, listen, son, we live in a bad area. So the people around here, they're niggas. These niggas around here are starving. These niggas around here are watching. These niggas around here will rob you. You need to understand that in this particular area, there's some bad shit going on because people are depressed and impoverished. But if we go to another area where black people aren't so depressed and impoverished, they're not stealing. They're not looking to get over on you. So that has to be a conversation that parents have to have with their kids when they say things like that. They need to fully explain it. Go ahead.
I mean, like, boom. Like, and another thing with that, like, I don't know about everybody else, but it's just like, I remember, like, how you had to be to keep people up off you. You dig what I'm saying? And, like, I don't know if something's wrong with me or whatever, but I kind of like showing people that. You dig what I'm saying? Like why it's good not to fuck with me. You dig what I'm saying? Like, because I don't know what kind of situation you had in your household or in your neighborhood, but nobody would ever break in my house and take anything because they know the consequences that would come with that. But I'm not saying that makes you soft or less of a man or anything, but I feel like for me it's fun, but I feel like you always have to do that in a sense. You dig what I'm saying? No, like every kind of hostile environment that you go into, whether it be, a bad neighborhood, a jail, or whatever, like you're gonna have to show people, hey, bruh, like you do anything funny to me, your life is gonna be more difficult than you know what I'm saying, than before you did anything to me. You dig what I'm saying? I think people got to understand that, and if you're not willing to do that, then stay away from environments like that. You dig what I'm saying? Like even parents need to understand, like, bro, if I have to raise my kids in one of these neighborhoods, I need to teach them this, or I need to make sure I don't have any children until I have enough money to not live in a neighborhood like this. You understand? Like, but if you're gonna be poor, like have kids and have them in the hood, you can't expect for them to be wholesome and shit. When you tell them to keep their hands to themselves and don't hit nobody and don't defend themselves, you're setting them up for failure. You dig what I'm saying? You're setting them up to be socially fucked in the kind of neighborhoods majority of us live in when you tell them to like not do certain things. Like
as a man, when you have a family.
Yeah, exactly. As a man, and to protect yourself and
but just as a man,
look a certain way.
Whatever neighborhood that your family is living in, you need to prepare your kid, your child, your children for the neighborhood that you live in. And then you have to also prepare them for the outside world outside of that neighborhood. And you have to layers. A lot of people are not doing that. I mean, Joe's, I'm sure is the only one. He's the only one on the panel with the kid. I think Rain dropped off. So I know, and Joe can correct me, but you have to teach your children things off jump. And then you have to teach them in stages when they're prepared for it and they start getting these issues. And you have to constantly own them so that they understand and are aware of what their environment is and what life is like. A lot of people are sitting their kids in front of the TV and walking the fuck off. A lot of people are expecting, the iPad to raise their kids. They're not paying attention. They're not doing the shit they're supposed to do because they're so consumed with their own life, not understanding when you have a kid, your own life is over. It's your child's life. It's your dedication to raising your child. So, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Can you expand on that, Joe? Can you tell me if I'm wrong, if I'm right? How do you do things?
Well, for me, and like I said, I got boys and girls, and I got other kids that come around. And like I said, the area that I live in, it's more of a lax area. But however, for a lot of the kids, how I talk to some of the kids versus how I deal with the black kids and the black kids is totally different, because I always try to keep them on how to go about maneuvering, how to speak, how to actually converse with certain people, the do's and don'ts, how to actually deal with certain black people. Like, I know some of the girls, they are enticed that they want to go to the lower income apartments. Now, the girls and the kids at the lower income apartments versus the suburb apartments, that's a very different mindset. Okay, you feel me? And some of the girls, they get enticed by some of the girls and the guys. It amazes me, but I'm like, wow, y'all kids in the suburbs, y'all like going to the lower income apartments. And I'm like, damn.
Because
it took me like
Is it real though, bro? Hold on, man. I might say some kind of ignorant shit right now, bro. But like,
no, that's not ignorant. No, see, you
think you might say some ignorant shit. Go ahead.
No, that's like, nigga, the low income apartments are more fun, bro.
They are.
Nobody complains about noise. Nobody complains if you want to barbecue outside. Like,
Trav. You think you're taking it as if I'm attacking or coming at you about that?
No. I'm just saying. I don't feel like you're attacking me or nothing. I'm just saying, just like, bro, it's just, I just wanted to say that, bro. Like, low income apartments are low key a little bit more fun.
I was actually gonna say the same thing. Now it's fun for different reasons, but into the reasons, typically it's more fun for a kid. For a child, it's more fun. Now for an adult, it's a whole nother ball game.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so what y'all saying now? Depending on like I told my son, I said you can find whatever you're looking for if you go to the right place. And my brother understood what I was saying. Now, my son didn't get it, but I'm like, when you go there, when you go to those areas, depending on what you look for, the devil might find you. And just like y'all was saying, like, well, you can do more stuff. It's more lax. There's more different feel or different texture, like barbecues and shit. There's no HOAs and stuff like that. Yes, that is true. I'm not gonna front. And I'm like, damn, these niggas right here walking butt naked in the front, goddamn, they don't give a shit. But that's what they choose. That's what they choose to do. The people, and it always amazes me because you have the kids that in the lower income, they want to go to the suburbs, play the video games, the hoverboards, and all the good shit, and they want to come over here and do all this. But I find it interesting. It's opposite, where the kids in the suburbs want to go there. But they'll be like, listen, man, bring your Xbox to my house and you can hang around my sister. Knowing damn well that girl don't give a fuck about you. But just bring your Xbox by. And I can't get mad at the little boy at the day. But the little boys when I see the boys at the lower income, I'm like, damn, I used to be like those little niggas. Like, their hustle and their mindset of survival is a lot different. Versus how I watch some of the other kids, like, the boys at the bus stop, they be fighting and slap boxing. Other kids at the suburbs, they be like sitting there on their phones and iPads. And the thing about it is, like, there's a lax state. And that's how you can tell the difference of the mindset of certain. There's those who feel like they have the entitlement and that they deserve, where, like, I try to tell my sons, like, you're going to work out. You're going to have to learn how to actually defend yourself. You need to actually learn how to speak in culture and code switch at a moment's notice, because that can keep you alive. You need to learn how to interact and deal with the police. Some things that when I teach my kids, like how to like go out there and check and change oil and different stuff, a lot of these black kids, they were like, man, Mr. J, why do I got to learn that? I said, because you never know when these skills are going to come to play. I was thankful those days when some older head had me out there holding the light at nighttime while he was working on a car to go to work 3 o'clock in the morning. I was thankful for those things because I never knew when I had to pull that skill out of the pocket.
As an adult. Yeah.
Right.
But as a child, you don't see it that way.
Right.
Right.
But when you start getting where a lot of us, like Trav has the knowledge, Donnie, you have knowledge. When your kids come into play, you're not going to want them to have to go through the same thing you went through. Now, I honestly tell a lot of men, you have to try your son through the fire. You have to start putting your daughters on cold because I promise you, there's going to be a younger or brasher person that emulates and somewhat comes from the same gutter you came from that is going to play the same game. And if your kids don't know how to play the game or recognize what's in front of them, they're going to get got. That is the game.
That's the thing. I'm kind of, even though I don't have any children, when I do, I kind of thought this to myself because I kind of I'm gonna raise my children a certain way. I'm gonna raise them differently than most people because it's just that shit. That shit is for one, it's corny. You dig what I'm saying? And it's really lame when people do that. When people for example, my grandfather and my father they really used to be killers in Jamaica. They till this day they're known for that. You dig what I'm saying? And they even though we've lived in the hood, whatever, they're still trying to keep you away from that. I'm bro, that's corny. You dig what I'm saying? It's real hypocritical. You still live your life the same way. You probably just older and shit, whatever, and you don't have to do the shit no more. But it's just you still live your life the same way. You're still the same person. Let me live my fucking life, bro. Teach me some of this shit so I can survive and be able to, you know what I'm saying? Do certain shit that I need to do. And people drop the ball when they do that. They literally have their kids living in the fucking hood like lambs to slaughter. You dig what I'm saying? When they do shit like that,
So let me say this, and I'm gonna give an analogy, and I'm gonna actually take it back because it's very true. I think black people have a PTSD. A lot of times when you understand the history of things, you can see a little bit deeper than the average person. So if you look at the typical project, the hood, it's not, because you don't call the black suburbs the hood. You call the hood the hood. The hood is basically a plantation. And if you look on the plantation back in the day, the plantation had a bunch of mothers with their children with really no men around that was raising these kids because they were breeding these men out and then they would send them off. They would send them off, or he would die, or it could be a multitude of things, but you had a whole bunch of mothers with kids and no male structure around to really keep these kids in line. So if you look at the average plantation, you had a lot of non-structure. They had to follow master's rules, but after that, it is what it is. You go work, you go do this, you do that. So the plantation was full of kids doing a whole bunch of shit that you couldn't do with a father in the home, just like the projects today. You have a whole bunch of kids doing shit that you couldn't do with a father in the home. You got kids out here doing shit they have no business doing, out in the street till late at night doing all this shit. So for a kid from the suburbs who typically, if you live in the suburbs, your parents are gonna have structure. They're not gonna have you out here on some bullshit. You go to the hood, there's no sense of structure. Now there are people in the hood who are getting their kids with structure. And those kids are gonna get out eventually. But you have to understand that the mindset of the hood is a child mindset. It's grown ass men in their 30s living with a chick who got kids and ain't working. They trying to work on a rap career, or they not really doing shit but having a bullshit ass job. That's a slave mentality. All of that's a slave mentality. So when you put that in context, you have to understand the hood ain't really a place that a lot of black people want to be. But in order for black people to elevate, you have to elevate the hood as a whole. We have to get back to a black family structure. We got to change it from a hood to a black suburb. And that has to start with black men stepping up. And I know we always put accountability on the women because it's just not been there forever. But black men have to step up in whatever position or capacity that they are in. Now, it's a lot of lions being raised as sheep because they don't know how to roar, plain and simple. So I see Joe always come from he don't feel like he have to do that. But as a black man, you have to, anybody who's seeking to learn how to roar, you have to teach them how to roar. You have to step outside of your family and help that man out. Now, if they're seeking, I'm not talking about just picking some random kid up in the street and just having some headache in your home.
Right.
We have to go out as a man and help the community further along. Because really, as fans, white people got us fucked up and all kind of bad situations. And there's a whole lot of niggas out here with no accountability that are impregnating all these chicks in the hood. So if there's a child out here that's looking to get their way up and do better things, then we have to support that child. Am I saying anything wrong so far? Does anybody disagree with me?
Nah.
I'm gonna say, hang on, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, you already know my stance on how I am with the black community, because I 120% believe in accountability. I'm like, if I made it out of Egypt, nigga, you can do it too. And some dudes are like, well, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to start. I'm like, no, nigga.
That's another thing. I'm gonna let you finish. My fault. Go ahead.
No, I say it like this. You appreciate something more when you start doing it for yourself. If I see you putting forth the effort, like I said, I seen a young brother working and busting his ass to go to work. Now this nigga, to get to work, it's a 30-minute walk. I watched this guy walk for 2 weeks for 30 minutes at a time to work. So when it started to rain one time, I said, yo, you need a ride. He appreciated that ride. And as he was, now I could easily just give him money and just say, hey, yo, you know what I did? I said, hey, why don't you go wake up and get to the bus? He said, you know what? I ain't never think of that. I said, well, just go catch the bus. And then watch him catch the bus, you know, me and a few other brothers, we had an old car. I said, yo, there's a car, you know what I'm saying? You can get this car for like, you know, it's $750. It's an old bucket, but it'll get you to point A to point B. See, the thing about it is, black men, we got to learn that, yo, nobody's going to give you a fucking handout. If men see you working and busting your ass, they'll respect you. But if you looking for the handout, and that's the thing about it, like a few men have gotten soft where they think that there's some blue-eyed blonde baby in the sky that's going to help your black ass out. No, brother. Like, you got to fight. If you don't fight for this shit, you don't have rights to sit at the table and fucking eat. That's my mentality, because ain't nobody gave me shit. And y'all heard some of my backstory. I didn't look for no fucking sympathy. I didn't look for no goddamn dude to feel bad for me. I understood shit is with the way it is. Ain't nobody pitying our black kids out here. But we need to teach them, like, listen, either you gonna learn to fight, ain't no fucking reparation, 40 acres and a mule coming. You buy your own goddamn fucking land and get your own mule. Now, is it fucked up? Yes. But can we do it damn straight? Yes, we can.
So here's what I like from history, and Trav probably knows 120% of this. When the Black Panthers came around, the Black Panthers started cleaning up their own neighborhood. They started making sure that everybody in their neighborhood, now they didn't move out the hood, they moved the hood out the hood.
Right.
Exactly.
So they made sure that their community was and upwardly mobile. And that is a dynamic and example that we need to do. Now, when they did that, what did white people, what did the major society do? They started coming in and they started trying to make gang fights and all kind of bullshit. They introduced drugs into the community. They was doing a lot of shit to destroy the black community. So we have to keep it at 120% as black men. We have to say, what are you doing to hold your fellow man accountable, your fellow black man accountable, and to clean up your neighborhood? Now, I understand the dynamic of you want your kids to have better. I'm not even gonna shit on that because I don't have kids, so I don't really know, how I might feel if I might need to move my kids about to do better. But at the same time, if you do move up out the hood, you need to make sure that you insert yourself back into the hood any way possible. You need to have yourself a business. You need to be teaching some class, doing some football, doing something to where you're in the neighborhood and making a difference in your neighborhood. And then when your neighborhood comes along, then that's when you, hey, listen, we moving back to the hood. We moving back to DeKalb County or whatever the area you live in, South Philly. I'm going back to South Philly because as it stands now, white people are coming into these neighborhoods, and what they're doing is they are gentrifying your neighborhood. So they're pushing black people out of your neighborhood. They're pushing black people out of their neighborhood and cleaning it up. So if white people are coming in to do it, why can't your black ass do it? I live in South Philly right now. I live 2 blocks away from Beanie Sigel. Everybody know, listen to music back in the day. Beanie
Broad Street?
Huh?
Broad Street?
Nah, Broad Street is the main street. He live off of Siegel Street. I'm 2 blocks from Siegel. Like if I get on my phone right now, it'll take me about 2 minutes to walk to Siegel Street.
I live in the hood right now. I live like right up the street from my hood. Like,
so on this, it's row houses. Over here on the row houses, there's 1, 2, 3. There's about 4 or 5 different houses full of white people. Now, I know 20 years ago that shit wasn't gonna pop off. I know 10 years ago that shit wasn't gonna pop off. But if you look at it, all these new houses are springing up. They remodeling these houses. They finna change this neighborhood over. Black people not finna be able to afford this apartment, so they're gonna push us off into another neighborhood. Black people need to be doing this in their own neighborhood and communities. They need to be assisting each other and making each other a better outlet for it. And I know, that starts with running businesses. That starts with, doing everything. And niggas don't like to patronize black business. I don't know what the fuck it is, but we have to just stick in there and keep pushing.
I'm gonna talk on that because you already know, but I know that came. I know that. Not saying you threw it at me, but I get what it's going.
No, I'm just saying that I 100. My uncle got a business. He run Chicken Shack. Niggas do not like to patronize that business and be 100% cool. They like to go in there and have a whole fucking problem. Excuse me, excuse me. You no reason for all this attitude, man. What can I help you with?
And the thing about that, and see, that's the thing about it, like. And there's no, like, I try to tell niggas, like, nigga, it's always the ones who don't have the businesses trying to tell the ones with the business how to fucking run their business. And I be like, yo, like, why don't y'all niggas sitting on the stoop get your own shit and then you run it how you see fit when you deal with these niggas? Like, I get tired. I can't tell you how many times I've had niggas literally tell me, yo, man, like, hook me up. I'm like, nigga, what fucking hookup can I give you? Then I had to give everybody up. But see, then they were like, that's not on code or some bullshit. But I'm like, if you ain't feeding my household, the fuck you mean? Like, you're not paying what I need to pay to get this shit popping. And that's the thing about it. Like, if you truly
when you say hook me up, like, what would they want? Like,
They want discounts. They sometimes they want discount. They want sometimes. Listen, I'm a little bit short. Like, let me, like, my auntie has a business where now to the point she don't allow no kids. She don't allow no kids in the store. After these 2 girls got into it and their kids ran in and stole some shit. And you see the thing about it is it's sometimes like I said, like when we go deal with other people business or other ethnicity business, we don't clap at them. I don't see black people like going inside a pool store and telling the pool, give me the hookup. A pool don't give you no damn hookup. The price is the price.
This is what I'll say.
Wait. No, that's not true.
No. A pool, guess what? A pool has stores. You black men, as black men, we got a store. He has a network of stores where he gets a store, his cousin has a gas station, his other brother has a doggone hotel. You got a store.
Right. So, let me tell you how it go out here. Right?
I've been doing this for so long, I'm close to 8 to 10 years now in. And the thing about it is, it's like, it's not that, like, I tell I don't like when black men say, hook me up with a job, fill out an application, we can talk. Man, I got a doggone a record. Okay, cool. Fill out the paperwork. And if we got a spot, we'll put you on. Like, I don't like, I be trying to tell niggas, like, if you don't like how I do my shit, build your own shit. Start up a doggone lawn care business. Like, it's not hard nowadays to start shit.
So let me say this. So I come from a family. My family's from Houston, Texas. Now they lived in Fifth Ward. My great grandfather owned a barbershop, a convenience store, and I think an air conditioning company or some other shit like that. He did roofing.
Oh, he did coolant. He did coolant repair. That's good.
Right. So he was doing he was doing HVAC back in the day, I guess. So the stories they would tell me about him is my great aunt, they called her Miss Red. Now she ran the store in the daytime, and some other times throughout the day, and my uncle ran the other one. So during the other time. But what they were telling me was, based on how everything was back in the day, a lot of time people came in and they were hungry and they were embarrassed, or maybe they weren't embarrassed, they were trying to make it, and they knew that. Everybody knew that. So what they would do is when they could give you something for a discount or for free, or put you on a loan or whatever it was, they would do that for you, and that person ultimately would come back around, because this was the hood, the neighborhood corner store. This was the store that, unless you wanted to drive a couple miles out and do some extra shit, this was the only store in the vicinity. So he knew he was the only grocer in there. So a lot of times he would help people out, and they were always thankful for that. And for that, his business was always open, or not always open, but his business was always thriving. It was always running. Now, it was times where he had to stretch and do a little extra shit here and there, but for the most part, he was always making money because the neighborhood appreciated him.
Exactly. Like, but that's another thing. Like, you were saying, that's another thing I peep. Like y'all don't understand what that does for people. Like that's one thing I peeped about like Black Americans, bro. Well, when I say this, I'm not saying anything negative. Like, well, I seen a lot of what Homeboy was saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? No, nobody deserves no handout, but like Jamaican people, we look out for each other. You dig what I'm saying? And like people will be annoyed at the motherfucker who come in, he might be short or he might not have no money and come begging food. But they'll understand, like, majority of the people who actually do that kind of shit really be needing it. You dig what I'm saying? Really be needing it, like, all the time. You dig? Like,
it's a Dominican.
That one person getting that sustenance every day, well, not every day, or every so often, they'll get that sustenance when they really get in a position to really cop, you know what I'm saying? Whatever they need to cop from the business, they'll come every time and they'll always pay. You dig what I'm saying? They'll always spend the money that they need to. Like,
right. And so it's a Dominican dude right here. So we have the little Poppy store at the corner.
Yeah.
Now he Black Dominican dude. They all in there. Their house is on top of the grocer. So they live there. They work there. Now I went over there, and it's not like I didn't have the money, but I ordered a little cheesesteak and went to go grab it. And I was like, $2 shirt. He was like, "Don't worry about it, Poppy." I said, "But no, let me go to the car. Don't worry about it, Poppy. Poppy.
Exactly.
Come here all the time. Don't worry about it, Poppy. I got you." And he pushed me out the damn store. Now, for that, I'm gonna fuck with him before I go there's another corner.
Anywhere else. But I'm not no broke nigga at all. You dig what I'm saying? Like,
so sometimes it becomes a point of, yeah, I understand business. You can't let shit rock. I get that. But sometimes, principle is a little bit more of a thing than anything else. Sometimes you gotta self-sacrifice. You gotta put yourself out there. You gotta help your community more so than when you just out here trying to be on the capitalist mindset. Now I understand, businesses is out here looking for the dollar bottom line, but sometimes, you got to help the neighborhood out. If you in this neighborhood and you trying to thrive, you got to help the neighborhood. These are your people around you.
Exactly. But damn, I gotta go to bed, bro. I'm tired. Yeah. Well, ain't no women on this shit, man. Where the hoes?
Yeah, well, you scared off one.
Nah, bro. Fuck that bitch. That bitch racist, bro. Like,
well, in any event, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna give a final thought. So, BMT, if you want to go ahead and give yours.
Yeah. Like I said, it was a good show, you guys. For all Black people, it's up to you. Make your decisions wisely. If it's in your heart to help the Black community, do it. If it's not, and you in it for profit, honestly, like my grandma said, if you trying to make money, if you trying to make profit out of the black community, you in it for the wrong reason. If you want to actually, if you in it to help, then help.
Your grandma was wise as a motherfucker.
Well, yeah, she
like
died.
You could still turn a profit though.
Huh?
You could still turn a profit though.
That's the one that didn't speak any English, right?
Yeah, she didn't speak in English. You understand? If you're looking for profit, then you in it for the wrong reason. Like, understand again. If you in it for profit, you in it for the wrong reason. Like, if you got, if your heart's not in it, don't do it. I mean, that's the thing about it. Like, listen, when I give some black boys some sneakers for football, I'm not looking for anything back in return. But see, I'm just like, hey, just take it. But then, like, again, I know I'm going to hear that from one of my investors, like, damn, Joe, you shouldn't have done that. That was $600. I get it. But at least these boys have something to do for the school. They stay out of trouble. That's how I will see it. But if my heart's not in it, I'm not putting my dollar on it. I'm not. You know, that's why I try to tell a lot of black men, don't do it. We got the wrong people putting money in the black community. And when we know they can't pay it back, now they're putting in a compromising situation. So don't do it if your heart's not in it, don't do it. Don't do it at all.
All day. The indomitable Trav X.
Shit, man, ride it out, bro. Like, you can't really be out here worried about gaining anything or fucking being hurt behind some fuck shit that probably didn't happen to you, man. You gotta ride it out for your people.
Okay, yeah. So, you know, typically, you know, I like to have the show with a sense of fun, some comedy element, maybe some things that aren't quite politically correct, but ultimately the goal, the point of the show is to have black conversations with black people, to have a sense of black empowerment. There's too many shows out here for white people to do nothing, to do fuckery, to do political, to do this. I just want to be a show in that diaspora of the black realm. So at the end of the day, you can always tune. This is a new pioneer media, YouTube. Anybody can create one, but I want to give a shout out to black people for tuning in and showing up. Get the chance, hit the subscribe button. If you get the chance, hit the bell button after you hit the subscribe button so you get the notifications when we on the show. And as normally, you know, we have a lot more crazier topics on here. I felt like this one was really meant to I think all of us come from a different background, from a different mindset, from a different mentality. But at the end of the day, nobody on this panel, on the show, wants to see a black man doing bad. I don't think so. I know Joe don't think so. I know Trav don't think so. So other than that, if you felt like anything I said made me seem like I wasn't shit, well, personally, you ain't shit for watching. Have a wonderful night, y'all.